And one of the things is that if you hanging out with them, drinking with them, doing some stuff with them, all kind of stuff, doing some stuff, it ain't gonna work. I'm just saying. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that we keep business, and that we understand the roles in our life. So the thing is this, we're going to talk about what your schedule look like. We're going to talk about the numbers. We're going to talk about how you working with new people and what they're feeling. We're going to talk about accountability, right? So we call it champion checklist. And our champion checklist is, first thing is your attitude. Listen, I ain't got nothing to do with why you pissed off. Don't come up in here like that. I don't have nothing to do with what goes on in your household. If something was wrong in there, when you became an entrepreneur, it's going to show it. Primerica ain't never broke up a marriage. There were issues before you came, and what it did was it exposed it. You got what I'm saying? And so the thing is that, so don't bring that into the office, because once you walk through this door, it's showtime. And so come in here with the right attitude. That I'm not going to talk about where I am. The prophet in the Word of God says, he says, listen, I know how to abate and how to abound. I know how to live with and how to live without. He said, my body is in prison, not my mind. So my thing is, you could be going through stuff in life, but if your mind is there, then you'll never ever be here with us now, because you're so busy back there. Make sense? So you got to come in the office, and you got to come around, and you have to talk to new people, and you have to perform with an attitude of gratitude. I am grateful every time somebody allow me to service their financial needs and somebody allow me to lead them in business. I am so honored and so grateful. Attitude is everything. The next thing, champions checklist, is that you got to have the right attendance. You are not going to be a field trainer if you don't show up. You got to be in the room. There are no excuses for missing meetings. And I mean, you got to be in the room. I like what Bruce said, wake up! I got to admit, I started partying last night, so I was kind of, but I have 100 people going to the movies with me for my birthday. My daughter reserved the movie theater room, and so invited 100 people. So people are in town. They started last night just to go to the movies with me. Isn't that something? And so that's my birthday get together today. And so so they started last night. Huh?
That's why you got money, because you can pay for all that.
I don't think I paid for it. My daughter runs my businesses. I have a couple of businesses, and she runs it, right? And so, and she runs all the money. Like I don't deal with no money. Shanina deals with all the money and everything. The issue is that Shanina's heart is bigger than mine, and she never stays on budget. So I may have to hire somebody else, right? So I don't even know if I paid for it yet. Okay, so
that's called a daughter.
Yeah, that's what that's called, right? So you have to show up. The next thing is accountability group. I do not consider you a leader if you're not accountable. You are not allowed to speak on my stage. You are not allowed to speak and do the corporate overview. You're not allowed to do anything if you're not accountable. Why? Because I don't know what you're going through, and I don't want to find out when you're at the mic. I done seen people at the mic, and I said, the leadership ain't know they was going to do something. But that person in counseling up there. Right? So if you're not accountable in church, if the leaders are not accountable to the pastor, they can't be on the pulpit, they sit them down. Right. So why are you trying to be friends with your people? Stop it. Just to get a $50 clothes? If they're not accountable, they should never be training. They should not be field training. They should not be speaking. They should not be doing the meetings. They shouldn't be doing anything. Why? Because this thing called life has a way of kicking you in the gut. And when you're going through, you should not be at the mic if you can't handle it. So accountability helps me to know where your mindset is. How many people know true wealth starts in the
mind?
Make sense? Where God says, whatever man put his mind on, it will not be denied him. So if your mind is on your situation, then your situation is going to overwhelm you. It's going to take it over. And all of that's going to come out in the front of the room. And I be telling people, you think you hiding your personal life from me? I just saw your whole personal life. You ain't even tell me. I know you're going through something because of the way you're talking, right? So accountability is everything, right? And so then the next thing is activity. Don't get offended when it's time to take numbers. This is a business. You was recruited, not hired. There's a difference. When the scholars, they say they're looking at the young people now in elementary school. The NFL and the NBA scholars are looking at them early now, right? Y'all all at your children's games, living through them. Oh, they're going to be the next NFL player, right? Y'all be at all the games, right? You got them trainers and they in the second grade. Right? Because the scholars are looking at them. I ain't mad at you. But they're not looking at them to hire them. They looking at them to score. And when somebody recruited you, they saying that I think you are somebody that can score. So when you come in a meeting, don't be surprised when we ask you for your score. What did you do? And people walking around offended because we ask, oh, I ain't going no more because all they talk about is numbers. That's how Bruce paid for his house. That is true, but it wasn't your $30 clothes. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You was recruited, not hired. You was recruited, and when they recruit them, they're recruiting them not to sit on the bench, but to make some baskets, to get some touchdowns. That's when they recruit them, to add to the bottom line. So, I expect you to add to the bottom line. So when you come in the room, immediately post your gas. All gas, no breaks. We take hours, we don't take days. You're not an RVP yet, you're not at $250,000 yet, we don't take days, we only take hours. You need a couple hours to go take care of something, take it, but make some phone calls today. You need a couple hours, take it. Just do one appointment today, but you cannot ever not do anything. We take hours, we don't take days. I don't care if you're on a cruise, find somebody to sit down with. Because we don't take days. All gas, no brakes, B-R-A-K-E, and no brakes, B-R-E-A-K. I took no breaks running to RVP. I took no breaks running to the ring. I took no breaks running to $250,000. I took hours. I didn't take days. Make sense? And so when they come in the office and the room, they got to give me their gas. Where you're going, where you're at, and what are you short? Where are you going? I'm going 10 by 10. Where you at? I know you say that ain't property. Where you at? I'm at 4 by 5. What are you short? I'm short 6 by 5. What do you have to make sure you close that 6 by 5 out? Well, I had 10 appointments, 3 are scheduled to close. 1 is 70, 1 is 120, 1 is 150. They gotta give me numbers, detail, right? Because this business is done by design and not by
chance,
default. And so often people are trying to do it by default. Oh, I'm nice, it's going to fall off the sky because y'all looked at The Secret and they told you it's a genie in the sky. The Secret really messed some folks up. And so the thing is that you got to, winners go take what they want. They make stuff happen. And somebody said, well, Coach, I don't think I'm going to come in with my numbers because I don't see it. I said, I ain't never saw my numbers. I've been here 27 years, have never saw my numbers. I saw the work. I don't ask you for your commitment based on what you see. I ask you for your commitment based on what you're willing to work for. Make sense? I'm not looking for people that see it. I'm looking for people that will work for it. That makes sense, guys? Yeah. So don't change your numbers because you don't see it. Now you say, okay, this business is by design, not default. What do I do? 1 out of 3, move forward. If I'm going to have to, that's why, Bruce, you said to me, oh my God, man, you don't even know you said all this stuff to me. Listen, we were away on a trip, and you said, great job getting to the ring. I got to the ring. You said, you got to make sure your base shop is helping a minimum of 30 families a month. At that time, that was a big deal. Ain't nothing there, right? But 30 families a month. So what I did was, he said, that'll pay you $200,000. That's what he told me, right? I'm thinking he gonna say, good job. I was like, this dude don't nothing make him happy. He already got me focused on the next. Everybody else congratulating me. Bruce said, when you get to 30 families, call me. I have a feeling when I got 30 families, when I went to him, he was gonna say, get to 50, I'll talk to you. But listen to this is what I did. We were doing paper apps. I went back to the office and I numbered 100 IBAs and 100 life apps, and I made a chart, 100, 100, right? And so I said, I'm not going to manipulate you or ask you to do what I think you should do. Tell me what you're going to do. Go sign your name beside what apps you want to take. So people walked up and say, I'll take app 1 through 5 in the IBAs, and I'll take app 1 through 7 in the life apps. So they signed out the apps. This was a genius move. So we had 100 IBAs signed out and 100 life apps signed out, Wayne. And so that month we did 112 recruits and 103,000 in premium.
Wow.
Because now they are exposed. We are letting people hide. You're not exposing them. And so now their name is up there, and we got to help 100 families. I said, now your focus is to go around town and say, hey, listen, our focus is to help 100 families this month. Will you be number 50? Our focus is to help 100 families this month. We at 97. Will you be number 97? I said, whenever you talk to people, always use numbers. Hey, listen, my focus is to help 20 families this month. Will you allow me to share with you what I do so that I can help your family? Always speak numbers when you talk to people. Numbers mean increase and growth. Numbers are important. You should never have a conversation that you don't say numbers. Never. Whatever conversation, even if you quote the scripture, it's a number. It's a chapter number and a verse number. Say numbers. Make sense? And so when they was exposed, because their name was on the board, they got app. Who had app 10? Where's app? Get app 10 in. Now suddenly there was strong accountability. You are exposed. Now your creativity kicked in. Why before the business you knew how to talk to people, and then you come into business, you got to ask somebody what to say? You don't know how to talk to your siblings, your family, your friends no more. Y'all have a script, right? Why do you need a script to talk to your own family? I'm coming over. Around the corner. That's the script. Open the door.
That's right.
That's the script. Sign right here.
That's the script.
What's your social?
That's right.
Make sense, guys? So we gotta make sure that we are not giving into this emotional ways that folks are acting today. We done left the old school way, man. And we got all these people that are overwhelmed and depressed and this and that. And then you feel a sense that you have to appease them because it's still, this is what Bruce said, he said, you don't have good people. He said, Lisa, it's easier to find a superstar than to make somebody one. I was listening. That's what he said to me. You don't know how much weight that lifted off of my shoulder. As a person who really care about helping people, I was trying to make everybody a superstar. Any honest people in the room?
Yep.
Because I wanted to help people, right?
Right.
And he said, Lisa, you can't make somebody a superstar.
Yeah,
It's easier to go find one. And so what I said, what I can do is I can have an environment that they can plug into and they can grow from it. And then I can keep going and get more. So I've always been 50 to 20 direct strong. Always. Because when this group wasn't producing, this group was. So guys, I came back in the business, and I'm going to talk about that in closing in the room. But when I came back in the business, I didn't, people say, I'm starting over. How can you start over something you already started? I didn't start over when I came back from cancer. I was out 4.5 years getting restoring my body. I didn't start over. I continued what I started. So when people say I got to rebuild, it's as if you thought you built it already. How you rebuild something you ain't never built anyway?
Whoa.
You gotta stop lying to yourself. I have not built it strong enough to say I built it. Right? And so the thing is, they say, well, how did you rebuild it, Lisa? And when you started over, what you do? I said, I didn't start over. I continue what I started. Because to say starting over would make me a little down. But Lisa, just continue what you started. Let's go get big, guys.
Woo!